All right. It is Thursday, November 30th, and we are here for another episode of Chiropractic is Sexy. I got Gil in the house, Kim Panton Family Compound, and I got Dr. Jen. Let's get this party started. You guys, unfortunately, we are without Dr. Erica. She is not feeling well, so she got hit by whatever this thing is that is getting everybody, and probably using that as a way to get things started today. So yeah, thanks guys for being here. And I want to ask you, so P squared Paula, she said she was distracted by the arm sticking out of my head on my background. I said I was distracted by my head sticking out of my head. So I'm going to try to figure out a different way to see. There's two. Now I'm like, I have me sticking out of my shoulder, right? What's better than one of me? Two of me. All right. So I thought since she wasn't feeling well, that this would be actually a great opportunity to talk about chiropractic and your immune health. I know. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it. I know I'm like that. Yeah. Just sticking out. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this would be a great opportunity to talk about immune health and chiropractic. And why do chiropractors say that if you're not feeling well, you should get adjusted, right? Yeah, both of me, right? So I remember, I'll tell you, start by telling you a story. So I remember that when I was sitting, it might have been my first day at chiropractic college, what seems like a million years ago, 25 plus years ago, be 26 years. This coming January 2nd was my first day of chiropractic college, which is weird because I'm only 29. So I know that's kind of weird how that works. So I remember sitting in class, and our instructor, she was the philosophy instructor. And she was kind of a little cuckoo to begin with. So then, she said, well, without even prefacing it. And here's the thing. I went to chiropractic college without any knowledge really of chiropractic. I knew I had gotten adjusted here and there, but I really didn't have the experience or the knowledge, Jen, of how powerful chiropractic care is. So, yes. And this, eating healthy foods, taking your supplements, taking care of your body. And then we add that extra layer of chiropractic. So this instructor, she says, well, the first thing I do when I get a sore throat is I go get adjusted. And I was like, you are crazy, right? Yeah, I do think they are all a little cuckoo. Cause then we also had, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. He was like socks and Birkenstocks, long hair, hippie dude, like really like all these philosophy instructors were definitely a little wackadoo. Hey, Uncle Al, nice to see you here. So she says, the first thing I do when I get sick is I go get adjusted. And I was like, that's dumb, because I also, in my previous life, I was a chiropractic, I was a physical therapy aide. So I worked in 5 years doing physical therapy rehab. My background was mostly medically driven, medically based, medically influenced. And so, when I was in the PT clinic and people would ask me about chiropractors, and I don't even remember what I would say, but it was always negative because that's what the physical therapists told me. And so I believed it. We get indoctrinated with these things without even knowing. And we're like, oh, well, I trust that person. I trust what they're saying. So I might as well believe it. And then I can own that as my truth. And I don't really care what it is. I mean, it could be something completely unrelated to chiropractic. But when you ask yourself, if you own a truth, why? Why do you own that? Why have you adopted someone else's belief system for your own when you haven't even like looked at all of the different ways that you can look at whatever that thing is. So politics are one of those things where, how did you highlight my name to tag me? You mean just now? Like that? You know, like, you know, if your parents were of a certain political, you know, orientation, and then you're born, and then they raise you in that political environment, and then you grow up and you're like, well, I'm that way because my parents were that way. So, you know, these are all things that we adopted. These are, you know, kind of going back to the book, The Four Agreements. We agree to things without questioning what those things are. So chiropractic is definitely one of those things. People will say, I don't believe in chiropractic. Chiropractic's not a freaking religion. It is not a religion. So, you know, I don't know what, you know, do you believe in gravity? Because it works whether you believe it or not. That's how chiropractic is. Thanks, Uncle Al. Please hit that like button. Appreciate that. So then what I learned over time, and there's all of these different variances of chiropractic philosophies. And some chiropractors are really strictly just musculoskeletal pain, right? Neck and back pain, car accidents, neck and back pain, see the chiropractor. And so light gravity, yep, chiropractic works whether you believe it or not. So there's so many different variances of chiropractors. And there are chiropractors who, there's places called the Fix and the Joint. And those places, they are the, thank you. Look at you double dipping. Appreciate that. These places, they're chiropractic practices, offices, they're franchises. And you can go in there and you can get cracked. And they don't do exams. They don't usually take x-rays. You go in, you pay $25-$30 and you get cracked. That's really all it is. It's very non-specific. So there are people who test your ideas with a mallet. Yeah, it's a really great statement, right? Crush them and then figure out how to rebuild them so that they fit to you and your life. So I quickly figured out when I came out of chiropractic college, I was very much a neck and back pain doctor. I still didn't quite buy into, I guess, the notion that chiropractic could heal people on such a deep level, literally life-changing level. I thought, neck and back pain. And I think it's easy if you're new in practice to be a neck and back pain doctor because that's what people are going to think of you as. But as I've been into practice, and I'll be in practice, it'll be 26 years coming up this coming spring, I have seen miracle after miracle after miracle, and it doesn't happen with one crack. So I've actually told people, I've not accepted people for care because they want to come in for 1 or 2 adjustments, 2, 3, 4 adjustments, whatever it is. We cannot pay per visit. In my practice, the way it works is if you're coming to me with an issue, we're going to work our best to correct it for you and at least get it functional again. And I know that doesn't occur over 1 or 2 times. So same thing if you came to me and said, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, great. Why don't you go eat 2 healthy meals and then come back and tell me how that works for you? It doesn't work that way. Nothing worth having is easy like that, right? America is so backward in the medical chiropractic. America is so backwards because, again, we are being socially influenced by drugs, surgery. Heck, there was just a thing that happened in the world that made everybody think that if you wanted to be healthy, that it all came from the outside, that there was nothing you could do for yourself to prevent the thing from happening. I got shut down on social media sites for talking about how to improve your health, how to improve your immune system, what foods should you take, what supplements are best, how do we eat better? How do we get better digestive health? What does it mean to have good digestive health? Yeah, I think I got shut down 4 times over that crazy, crazy time. So this is where, and also when you're talking about media censorship, when you're censoring the things that matter with being healthy, then people are then going to be more inclined to go, oh, well, this is the only message I get. It must be the only true message. So that's why Dr. Erica and I started this, because we wanted to bring more truth to what you all might be hearing, right? And they cannot stop the truth. You are correct. And here I am for sure. So going back to the first thing I do when I start feeling bad is, guess what I do? I go get an adjustment, right? Because I've seen it. I've seen it. I know how it works. I have a patient. He was here this morning. He comes in every week without fail. He's got chronic sinus issues, chronic gut issues. We're working on all of it. He's been a patient of mine for years, and it ebbs and flows, and he's really a complicated case. But hey, Bill, nice to see you. Glad you could make it. You're not out in the field. It's not so cold out there. So we're probably all going not too badly for you. So he was in this morning, and he comes in because when he gets adjusted, I adjust his upper cervical. I adjust him full spine, but I adjust the upper cervical. I adjust his sinuses, his ears, and his head just, he needs that to get everything starting to drain out of his head. Well, how do you explain that? That's not neck and back pain. That's literally the nervous system being balanced out so it does what it's supposed to do. It gets rid of things it's not supposed to have. And so chiropractic is really the philosophy, science, and art of removing interference from the body, the way it functions, and allowing the nervous system to get back to a clear message so your body can heal itself. And so many people need to recognize more of that, because if you are eating poorly, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, and of course, the American Medical Association here in the United States, if we go back in time in history of chiropractic, is they were throwing chiropractors in jail at one point in time because they called it practicing medicine without a license. And so, it's threatening. And medical doctors still, they are indoctrinated to think that chiropractors are bad. And Dr. Erica and I talked about this also on a couple weeks ago, and how like our my malpractice insurance is like $900 a year. And listen, I promise you, if we were killing people, our malpractice insurance would be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Much like orthopedic surgeons, they're probably $250,000 a year in their malpractice insurance. So the more opportunity there is for you to kill someone, the higher your malpractice insurance is going to be. So my malpractice is $900 a year. So what does that tell you just from that scaling of things? So really, when we're looking at how do we stay healthy, getting your nervous system clean and clear of any interference, allowing your body to heal itself. And then going back to what Gil said, where did you go, Gil? And Gil said, here we go. Eat healthy foods, take supplements, and take care of your body. The important piece about that is that some people also, as chiropractic patients, they come in with neck and back pain, and they're absolute disasters with their health. They're overweight, their skin is horrible, their hair is falling out, they have multiple autoimmune diseases, massive digestive issues, and they're still holding on to the same lifestyle that got them there, hoping that chiropractic is going to be a Hail Mary. So I want to have that conversation, because many people, and even there's some chiropractors out there who think that chiropractic is the be all end all. Hey, Grow Big, how are you? I'm working on the video. I did the video. I'm got to get it edited as soon as I'm done off of this. So I'm doing a video on broccoli. There's some really cool things about broccoli. So you're going to have to tune in to Grow Big TV later tonight to see that video. Okay. get that, dangle that carrot in front of you, or that piece of broccoli. I'm dangling a piece of broccoli in front of you. So a lot of chiropractors and a lot of people say, they think that, chiropractic cures cancer. Chiropractic, does all of these like miraculous things. It does miraculous things, but it is not a Hail freaking Mary. If you are destroying your health in many other ways, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do for you. And I've told people this, and I've even attempted to dismiss patients because they wouldn't start eating well. They wouldn't drink water. They wouldn't stop smoking. They wouldn't, listen, and smoking, no good comes from smoking, period. And you can chopping broccoli. Oh my God. That's a Saturday Night Live reference, right? Yeah. Adam Sandler. I'm chopping broccoli. So it's super important that you recognize that chiropractic is one of the pillars of health. It should be the first pillar for sure, because if you're doing all of these other things and you don't have a clear, sound nervous system with proper messaging from your brain to your body, then your body cannot heal itself. But if you're doing that, then you got to do all the other things too. You have to be able to, you've got to be able to have a better diet, exercise, moving your body, breathe, proper rest. Sleep is so, so critical. Been here since 12:20, trying to get a few things down. Wanted to say, hey, Kenny. Hey, so good to see you. So really, really important that, and this is why I veered away from being a neck and back doctor. I probably could make a really good living being a neck and back doctor, seeing patients 2 to 3 times, and saying, I've been in offices of my colleagues and they've said, patient will walk in and they'll go, call me when you need me. And I'm like, you don't know when you need the chiropractor. You don't know that. And you know what that says is, I'll see you in a year. Because you meet people on the street, Jen, you probably meet people, and they'll say, oh, thank God I've never needed a chiropractor. Really? Because have you ever had a slip, trip, fall? Do you have any stress in your life? Do you eat poorly? Do you exercise? Do you get improper rest? Do you have an autoimmune issue? Do you have any kind of health issue whatsoever? Well, then, yeah, you probably need a chiropractor. It's not about the neck and back pain. So this is where we want to help people make that, bridge that gap, that this is the key pillar to getting your health on track, but it is not going to be your Hail Mary. It is not going to be the thing, like in the craziness of the world when there was only one of 2 things that would save you. This isn't that. We have to get you to start thinking of your life in a more holistic fashion, right? So, and I get that, a lot of people don't know what to do, don't know where to start, just don't have the wherewithal. I was talking with a patient this morning, and just trying to get her health back on deck. I thought she had recently been working with a holistic doctor, and then she's like, oh no, that was 25 years ago. I was like, oh God, okay, we got to start over, because there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. And again, inflammation and skin issues and autoimmune and lack of bowel movements and, so many things. Now, connecting the brain to the body can definitely help those things. It actually improves, again, the communication. When you have good communication, the body knows what to do, right? But if you have interference to the nervous system from any of those things, physical stress, chemical stress, emotional stress. So physical stress is sitting here at my desk. That's physical stress. Sitting here all day. You know what else is physical stress? This. Can you see? I'm looking at my phone, right? This, looking down all day long, right? So that's physical stress. Chemical stress, the toxins in our air, the toxins in our water, the body care products, cleaning products, candles, there's so many toxins in our environment, rocket ships being blasted up into the atmosphere, toxins in your food. And then you have emotional stress. So we're coming into the holiday season, and the holiday season it's really stressful for a lot of people. We had this conversation with regards, I had this conversation with Dr. Ron on Sunday on my show, and talking about stress and how we handle stress and how we get people to de-stress and all the things that that cause stress in someone's life. So yes. Hey, hi, Homestead. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, I refer my patients to get massages. I used to have massage in my office, and I no longer do that. I moved during COVID, and I don't actually have the space in my office for massages, but I have a couple of really great massage therapists that I refer people to. So I highly recommend people get massages if you can get a massage and chiropractic together. So I'll digress for a moment. So if you take a rubber band and you throw it on your finger like this is the equivalent. That's the equivalent of nerve interference from physical stress, chemical stress, emotional stress. You can already see the tip of my fingers getting kind of red. It's not comfortable at all. It's not comfortable. Now, this is actually hitting about 10% of the nerves in my body that detect pain. So keep that in mind. The other 90% of the nerves in your body are doing things like making your heart beat, making your lungs breathe, making your stomach and your intestines digest food. Your pancreas is balancing blood sugar. Your kidneys are filtering fluid and getting rid of toxins. So is your liver. Your brain requires a ton of energy expenditure. You don't have any pain fibers up there, which is why when they do brain surgery, they don't put you under, right? So this is 10% of the nerves in my body right here, but you'll get the idea. So it's red. It's almost turning purple. It's a little whiter than it should be on that side. And so the typical person would say, you know what, it kind of hurts. I think I'm going to take an aspirin. Okay. And then aspirin will thin the blood flow. And then that finger might start to feel a little bit better for a little bit, maybe not too much longer. And then, you know what, how about I give it a massage? Let me massage it. Now, this is why you should not get massages without getting chiropractic care. All right. So watch closely. So get massage. It feels good while I'm squeezing it. And then, yeah, as soon as I'm done, yeah, the pain comes right back. Yeah, it's because you have stress on your nerves, right? So what if I put a hot pack on it or an ice pack? How about that? That might help it, right? I could maybe do some acupuncture, stick some needles in there, see if that'll help. And what do you guys think I should do? Do you guys think what if I took that rubber band off? What do you think that would do? Right? So this is chiropractic. We come in, we find the irritation on the nerve, and we remove that interference through a chiropractic adjustment, getting rid of the stress. And then, do you see how it's taking a little time for the color and the shape? My finger's a little misshapen. That's why it takes a series of adjustments, because it doesn't come back right away. It requires you to have a series of chiropractic adjustments that are going to help it come back to balance over time. So that's my little visual aid on why we recommend chiropractic along with massage therapy. So once you're starting to get adjusted, and then you go get your massage, then you actually get far more benefit out of your massage. It really still hurts. You get more benefit out of your massage, because at that point, now the nerves can tell those muscles, hey, you guys can chill out. You can relax now. We're good. We're going to be okay here. So if you're going to get massages, make sure you're also under chiropractic care. Okay. Appreciate you listening there, Al. And what are you making? What recipe are you working on? And soaking in hot baths. I always say Epsom salt baths. Joe's going to need a big tub. Have you seen his shoulders? Yeah. So, but hot bath, Epsom salt baths are really helpful because you're going to absorb those minerals that'll help things calm down. But again, these are all things that you should be doing as part of your regular self-care along with your regular chiropractic adjustments. Because let's say that you're doing all these things, you're eating well, you're drinking enough fluids, you're not a non-smoker, you are exercising, you're getting proper rest, but you're not getting adjusted. You're only going to get to about 80% of where you could be. And so why not maximize that potential? Now we take that. Now we're clearing out that nervous system, and your body is just going to go on freaking warp speed, right? Yes, that's good. How big's your tub, Joe? Get a neck shoulder massage, then chiropractic adjustment, then massage. Yeah. Oh gosh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That sounds lovely. I think I would like that. That sounds amazing. So yeah, I refer people out because my office, again, I don't dare touch my camera because every time I do it, I'd love to just pick it up and show you around the office here. I should just do an office tour with you guys one day. I have a great office, so I'll show you that. But, that's the other thing. You come in, it's a warm, welcoming environment. Oftentimes we are the happiest place that people go to all day long. And that is, that's a tough one. And I know which patients, I know the ones that don't want to go home because they stay here, they want to talk, they want to engage, they want to talk about their family, their problems. And, and again, this goes back to when Dr. Ron and I were talking on Sunday, is that we take everybody's issues and problems all day long, and we listen, and we're a sounding board, and people don't often have that. So it's a really, really special place, and it's a really, really special thing to be a chiropractor, to be able to help somebody on that level. Going back, many years, like I said, I came out of chiropractic college being a neck and back pain doctor. And I remember this one time, and when I was in school, I did a lot of mountain biking. I still mountain bike, but I did a lot of mountain biking. And the guys came over to pick me up, and I had a headache. And I asked one of the guys, and there was like these philosophy groups in school, and it seemed to attract all the wackadoos. As we go back, we were talking about the philosophy instructors being wackadoo. And so this one guy, Sean, who I was riding with, and I said, man, and he was upperclassman. So he was already in student clinic. He knew how to adjust. I was, lower classman. So I don't even think I had learned to adjust yet. So they come over, and I said, can you adjust me? I have this headache and I really want to go riding. And he says, I don't adjust headaches. I adjust subluxations. And I'm like, I learned so many lessons in chiropractic college. And that lesson to me was, you better listen to your patients, right? If I said that to any one of my patients in that manner, I probably wouldn't have a practice, right? So of course, like, honestly, yeah, I'm not adjusting your pain, and I'm not going to adjust your pain away. My job is to clear the interference so your body can heal itself to get rid of its own pain. That's the ultimate. But it takes time to get people to understand that path. So that was the first thing, is listen to your patients. Make sure that that they are being heard. And if they tell you they have a headache, you know what I say to them? I go, you're in the right place. We're going to take care of that for you. Like they have to be validated when they come in. There has to be a level of compassion, because again, if somebody has chronic headaches and they go to their medical doctor, oftentimes here's a drug, or it's all in your head, literally, right? So then I came out, and I was this neck and back pain doctor, and one of the first, probably in the first couple of years of practice, maybe first year, I was taking care of this woman, and she came in one day. And, she was under care for a few weeks, and she came in one day and she said, she goes, hey, can this help my sinuses? And I go, yeah, I guess so. I didn't really know. I hadn't really seen that in practice. And she said, can this help my sinuses? And I said, I go, yeah. I mean, why do you ask? And she goes, well, I've been on nasal spray for 20 years, nasal spray medication for 20 years because her sinus issues were so bad. And she goes, I actually haven't had to take it at all while I've been under care. And I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? And that to me was like, that was a big aha moment. Hey, Shawnee, how are you? Nice to see you here. Yeah, so many times headaches were from my neck being out of alignment. And that is, you get this out of alignment and it think of it like squeezing, it squeezes your brainstem. And so think about if somebody just had their hands inside your head and was squeezing your brain, it would not feel good. So get this aligned, release the tension and right, blood flow, nervous system flow, immune function flow. Everything works better when it's not being squeezed. Again, where's my rubber band? If this is being squeezed, it's hard to use my finger if it has all that stress on it. That's how the nervous system functions. So that was my first big aha moment. And then the second one I had a man come in and he was in tremendous pain. I think it was his low back. It's a million years ago. I don't remember exactly his specific area of pain, but it was maybe a month or two after being under care. And he came in and we did his re-exam. He was feeling so much better. And he said to me, my wife was ready to divorce me. And I was like, oh, kind of laughed. He looked at me, he goes, no, I'm serious. He didn't realize that the level of pain that he was in was causing him to be an SOB to his wife and his kids. And he'd been in pain for so long, not doing anything about it, that she literally had told him she couldn't take it anymore because he was angry. He was, had a short fuse. He, would fly off the handle. He was hard to talk to. He just was a person that she no longer wanted to be around because he was just angry and cranky because he was in pain. And he didn't connect the fact that his anger and crankiness was because of his pain. And he didn't realize that his pain was causing him to be angry and cranky. So it was this again, this mental emotional disconnect. And he said, no, he said, this actually saved my marriage. I'm like, what? Come on. So it's things like that, you guys, that, when I know that what we do as chiropractors just expand people's lives to a level that is literally life-changing, it's the coolest thing on the planet. And, again, there's never, I got to put this one up here. So it absolutely does. So good adjustment also improves the love life. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. So men who have degenerative discs down in the lumbar spine, they have a higher incidence of prostate issues because those are the nerves that go to the prostate and the reproductive organs, right? So when there is stress on those nerves down there, think of it. If you had a dimmer switch and I'm turning the dimmer switch down to the very equipment that you need to have a love life, how well do you think that equipment's going to work? Not very well. Not very well at all. So yeah, this is not the first time I've heard that it improves your love life, right? So, and also just since we're talking about it, is that it helps with the mobility of the pelvis. And we need that, right? So from a performance perspective, to see if I can sort of Seinfeld my way through this conversation. But yeah, and getting the nerves to all that whole area to function better, it's key, right? So yeah, and then we'll talk about anything metabolic that could be affecting that. And is there anything that needs to be done nutritionally? And inflammation will affect that. So, and chiropractic can help decrease the inflammation, and then we talk about dietary things. So I said one of the reasons I got into functional medicine was because I decided that if I'm adjusting you all day long and you're going out and eating Big Macs, what am I doing for you? I needed to be able to help you with other aspects of your life. And so I'm going to segue right into sleep. And I have had many people with sleep apnea. And oftentimes, so sleep apnea is a little bit of a multifaceted thing. And Joe, this is I've reached out to, there's a dentist I'm trying to get on the show. And oh my gosh, he's amazing. He's a holistic dentist. I have another dentist that I'm going to bring on as well. But his area of expertise, it really hits the sleep apnea piece. And but sleep apnea is, so it's misalignment in the upper cervical. It is, I know. It is so true though, right? I know. Yeah. Thumbs up if chiropractic has helped the love life. Okay. So sleep apnea, upper cervical misalignment, stress, jaw misalignment. So if the jaw isn't functioning properly, if you have TMJ, clicking, popping in the jaw, you yawn, it clicks and pops, you chew food, you get clicking and popping, you grind your teeth at night. The jaw is a big proponent in sleep apnea. And so we have to get the jaw straight. Now, as a chiropractor, not all chiropractors take care of TMJ, which is the pain, popping, clicking, misalignment of the jaw. I have people come in and I'll do the evaluation and take their history, and I check the jaw, and then I'll say, how long have you had TMJ? And they're like, what? How did you know that? I'm like, because I can tell. I ask them to open their mouths, and their mouths go, tracks off. You could do this. Go to a mirror and just open and close your mouth slowly, and watch if you can see it wiggling, right? So even if it doesn't click or pop, you can see it doing this. So it should evenly come out like this, but then it'll do this thing, and maybe it'll click or pop, or maybe you're somebody who, like, you can't even get your mouth open. So that's when I say it's multifaceted. So we have to fix the upper cervical, fix the jaw often. And then look at your stress levels. We got to bring stress down. Inflammation can be a target of that as well. And listen, skinny people have sleep apnea too. So the misconception is that it's people who hold extra weight who have sleep apnea. And that's not, they're more likely, but skinny people can have sleep apnea too. The other thing we check for, which is why I work with holistic dentists because of the whole mouth jaw thing, is that if you have a tongue tie or a lip tie, now what is that? Okay. Tongue tie. Okay. That band of tissue underneath your tongue, it clamps your tongue down. Some people, when it's called the frenulum, if it's too big, it clamps the tongue down. It pulls the tongue. The tongue can't protrude the way it needs to. Your tongue is supposed to sit up into the upper palate, right up there, okay? Underneath those teeth. The tongue is supposed to come up, approximate to the front of the teeth, and sit nicely in the upper palate. But if you have a tongue tie, the tongue is going to go back into the throat a little bit more. That's an airway issue. This is also chiropractic and holistic dentists. This is why chiropractors and holistic dentists need to be working together. I had started working with a couple of dentists from Dallas, creating a program that was actually ultimately going to bring more dentists and chiropractors together. We didn't get very far. I think just our schedules just weren't in alignment. But I've continued that work in my office and reaching out to different dentists and trying to work with more holistic dentists. So because we need to work on the airway issue, make sure your tongue is up in the upper palate. Make sure that if there's any tongue ties and lip ties there's a little frenulum in the front and the top and the back and the top and the bottom. If you lift your lips, you'll see them. If they're really big, you might need to find a holistic dentist. And yeah, they clip them. They clip them. So if if you ever see a kid and they'll say, oh, he's tongue tied, or a baby who won't latch onto the mother's breast to nurse, or who isn't talking when they should, or bedwetting is a big tongue tie issue. So history of bedwetting, things like that. So sleep issues can be tied to the tongue tie as well, and the lip ties. So yes, I have, Joe. And it's a process. So to say, oh, chiropractic, yes, I can help 100% with sleep apnea. It's a multitude of things. And we've got to get the inflammation down in your body. So I have to get you eating properly. I have to get you to, making sure that the stress levels are down. How are you handling your stress? Are you handling it well? Do we need to get you exercising, meditation, breathing better? Are there supplements that we need to help? Herbs and things that would help you with your sleep to take you into different sleep patterns. So also having a sleep tracker ring. This is my sleep tracker ring. This is really helpful. I like the ring better than the, Apple watches and things like that. I just feel like the watches are not as accurate. Not saying this is 100% accurate, but this has been way better than anything I could have worn on my wrist. Plus I feel like the wrist on the watches are very uncomfortable. But yeah, so we try to get people here in this office for sleep apnea, because if you have one of these also, I can look at your sleep numbers. And then as a chiropractor, we can look at where you need help with your sleep. Which part of sleep? Is it latency? Is it your deep sleep? Is it your REM sleep? How do we overall help you with your sleep patterns? So getting a sleep study, or, a sleep study is just buy one of these, right? And then start tracking your sleep, and it tells you your patterns of sleep, and it adds your activities in there as well. So let's see what we have here. Your pantry, keystone of survival and health, proper foods help adjustments work better. Love it. Oh my God. I have to run a parade. I can't, can we save that topic for when I can join you again? Because I'm literally like, I am running the parade. I'm not just like attending a parade. I'm running a parade this Saturday and Sunday, and then the following Saturday, the 9th. And then I think I'm available on the 16th. You and I can get together offline and figure that out. But if you wouldn't mind saving that, I love that topic. Also want to let you know that Gil brought the topic of coffee to my attention. And so I can't do it this Sunday, but a week from Sunday, I will be bringing on the president of Life Boost Coffee. So thank you for that, Gil, because I was able to reach out to him, and he was like, hey, I'd love to be on your show. His coffee is very green. It's organic. Green meaning not green coffee. It's roasted, but no mold, low acidity. It's all the things that we talk about when we talk about healthy coffee. So watch for that. So thanks for that. But again, can't do it this Sunday. But if you have a topic for me for this Sunday, let me know. And then, oh my gosh, I've got the parade on Sunday. I got to figure that out. I might have to pass on my Sunday live or move it up in the day. Oh my God, I'm setting up the trailer on Sunday. I just remembered that. Okay. I might need to not have a Sunday night live. There's only so many things I can do. But anyway, if you have any other topics, by all means, let me know, drop them in the chat. So there's the South Lyon Parade on Saturday starts at 6:00 down in South Lyon, the Downtown Development Authority of Lyon Township. We have a float that we have decorated. And, so we'll be in the parade for the Lyon Township DDA on Saturday. And then Sunday's parade is Sunday evening, and it's in my subdivision. And same thing, we decorate a trailer, we blast music. It's so fun. We hand out candy canes. We have Santa. We started it during COVID. Quick sidebar from our chiropractic conversation, but we started it during COVID. My neighborhood in the 50s, when it was built, would do Santa visits to people's homes. And so, and that was a tradition that had been going on this whole time. They did not miss a year. So COVID came and people were like, okay, we can't do Santa visits. So I said, well, why don't we do a parade? And so now what happens, so we decorate this float, lights, like it's crazy, you guys. If you're on my Facebook page, there's videos of it and stuff from previous years. But it's so cool because we play music so loud that when we're on one side of the sub, people on the other side of the sub are like, we can hear you loud and clear. But what's really cool is that it now has brought in all the people, even people who don't have kids. People will literally go and sit in lawn chairs at the end of their driveways to watch us slow roll through the neighborhood. And then kids come up, they take pictures with Santa, they write letters to Santa, put them in the mailbox. I love my neighborhood. It's so freaking cool. So anyway, so that's Sunday night. Joe says, that sounded like me before trying to set up my show. Oh no, I got to be here, then reschedule. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you get it. I know. Yeah. It's a thing. I think this is just what we do as creative minds. We want to do it all, and we think we can do it all until we realize that all of it clashes and conflicts, right? So I love the Christmas visits. And yeah, you should come down to the South Lion Parade, Kenny. And then you can secretly peer as we drive by. We'll be in the Lion Township Parade. Watch out for protesters. Yeah. I don't think there'll be any where we're at. I think we'll be pretty safe. Yeah. New York City Christmas tree lighting. Hey, I heard that the tree at the White House fell. I haven't seen video of that. That had to be a sight. So yeah. Hey, Devil Dog Prepper, how are you? Yeah. You and Kenny, you guys are both night shift people. So yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you very much. So I am also working on getting us there's some really cool people in the chiropractic space who are not chiropractors, who advocate for chiropractic and the miracles of chiropractic more than most chiropractors. So I'm working on getting those people on this show for Thursdays. So we'll be getting some special guests in and just continuing to have this conversation about, why it's such an important pillar in your health, how it can help with sleep. So if you are having issues with sleep apnea or sleep in general, a lot of people have issues with sleep just from a perspective of you can't fall asleep, you can't stay asleep, you get that 2 a.m. wake up, and then you're like, oh my God, I can't go back to sleep. So really, really important that we, that we're able to get people overall back to great health. So, oh, darn it. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he'd be just creeping as we drove by. This is Kenny. I'm Kenny, you guys. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, I might be inclined to throw some live video out on Sunday, maybe Saturday too. We'll see. So, all right. It is 1:49. I have a video on broccoli that I have to get edited for Grow Big TV for tonight. And it's really cool. Broccoli is an incredibly cool vegetable. And it does some really, really neat things. So we should all be eating our broccoli and, in any way that you prefer it. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much. Send Dr. Erica your love. If you are still in here, light up that chat with Get Well, Dr. Erica. We miss you, and just let her know that she is well loved. And real quick, so Jen, of course, pile down the broccoli with your meat. That's what it's all about, girl. Yes, a good steak and a side of like broccolini, that bitter broccoli. Yes, for sure. Yeah. There we go. Eat more broccoli. And then go over to Grow Big TV if you're not already there. 7 o'clock tonight, all about broccoli. So, and make sure you're subscribing to Grow Big TV, please. And Campanton Family Compound, Devil Dog Prepper, Gray Man Prepping, get in there, support all these people, because I sure appreciate all of you being here on my channel and supporting me. So thank you so much. And yes, we'll let Dr. Erica know that she was well missed, and we'll see you guys next week. All right. Beef, broccoli, and rice. There we go. Yeah. Oh my God, that's one of my favorites for sure. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's a big carnivore. That's the carnivore thing. Yep. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Yeah. And then we'll leave with this. Oh wait, where'd it go? Wait, why does it keep? Hold on. There it is. Get well, Dr. Erica. We love you, girl. All right, you guys, stay healthy, stay well, and appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Love you.